Hi everybody, this is the last show of the week, so let's just go through a few things, and especially because my head's spinning, it really is. The first thing this morning, I wake up and I get a message that California's on lockdown, and I mean California, it's just a huge state. It's a hive of activity, but it's all on lockdown. Everybody's told to stay home, only go out if it's essential. And I mean, this is crazy. Luckily, we have a warehouse in Escondido in the USA, and luckily, our manager there is not too far away, so she can get there, and we'll see how it goes, whether she gets stopped driving on the road. She doesn't, it's only just an hour or so that she went there, so we'll find out. But then later today, I hear that London and possibly the rest of the UK is on lockdown as well. I mean, if anybody's ever been to London, it is an absolute, well, it's a huge city, massive, but it's just a hive of shows, theatres, bars, restaurants. It's just massive. And it's on lockdown. People are told to stay home, closing all the bars, gyms, cafes. I mean, gymnasiums as well, where people go to get healthy. Just everything is closed down. What's going on? Is there a reason for this? Why is the panic? I don't know. I really don't know, because the figures are not changing. There's nothing happening at all. I've been giving over the figures this last week, and I'll cover a few more, but it's a tiny amount of people that are dying, and there's no more people dying this week than died the previous week last year and the year before, or even the last month, whatever. There's nobody dying extra. So why is the panic? I don't know. I really don't know. I can guess at it. I can think of conspiracies, but I can't tell you for sure. I am upset why those people are dying. Make no mistake about it. I've told you before, people are dying of sepsis and lung disease by the thousands every week. Not a few hundred, but thousands every week are dying from lung disease and sepsis. And both of those are relatively easy, using natural health methods, to reverse them. Sepsis, studies show intravenous vitamin C and sodium bicarbonate will recover a lot of those people. Instead of millions a year dying, it reduces it down to maybe half that. I don't know how good we can actually the results could be, because nobody's giving it a chance. The medical system, the pharma medical cartel, just don't want to know about nutrition and vitamins and sodium bicarbonate, so they just don't want to know. But there's a panic going on, and I think the panic is intended, truly. I check all the time, and there's a John P.A. Loanidis is a professor of medicine of epidemiology in Stanford University in California, and he says this is just a fiasco. It's literally going to end up in a once in a century fiasco, because there's no need for it, and people will one day must find out. Surely the governments, the politicians, I should say, because I don't trust politicians at all, no more than I trust doctors. Well, actually, I'm going to take that back. I trust doctors, but I don't trust them to be sensible. I trust them because they are well-meaning, but the pharma medical cartel that control the doctors these are the people that I don't trust. So he's collected data. John P.A. Loanidis is a professor of epidemiology. Epidemiologists know much more about disease than doctors do. Doctors only told a little bit, and then they're just given a book of drugs, and that's what they've got to give people. So we need some evidence about this. The BBC 4 in the UK, for some reason or other, Americans, and I'm talking to Americans now, believe that the BBC is an honest media outlet. It's a mouthpiece, not even for the government particularly, it's a mouthpiece for the deep state and, of course, the medical pharma cartel. They got a professor on, Paul Cosford, and he's awarded a CB, which is an honour by the Queen for his services to epidemiology. And they got him on because they wanted for him to tell her how bad it was and what, doom and gloom. And they said, well, how bad is this coronavirus, Professor Cosford? And he said, it's sort of somewhere between a cold and flu. It's no worse than a flu, and it's no better than a cold. What? So they then carried on persuading him to try to say something, and he said a few things. I've got the recording of it, so because I knew one day I might have to post it. But in the end, he just said, yeah, okay, then people have to look out for themselves. But he didn't say there's any panic. He didn't say we have to close down countries with it. I get my followers, readers, and of what I send out, and I've got one from Jacqueline, and she told me about an Italian scientist, Dr. Stefano Montanari, and there's so many scientists saying the same thing. It's what is going on. They don't know, but because most scientists are not conspiracy theorists, they just get confused because they think, are we missing something? So they don't speak out too loud, actually. But a lot of them are saying what is going on. There's no proof whatsoever that it's the killer that they say it is, or the politicians say it is. Of course, they've got tame doctors. They wind them up and put them in the radio or the TV, and they say it's bad. But there's just as many on lesser broadcast systems saying it's fake. But of course, you don't see those because they haven't got as many viewers. All the main media outlets are actually, if you like, owned by the deep state and the medical pharma cartel. You may have heard in the news, well, yes, but Italy is proof it's really bad. 3,500 people have died in Italy. The worst record of any Western country. The worst country, even worse than outside China. Italy? How can it be worse than outside China? And I said, over the last day or so, well, it's probably because of all the pasta and bread they eat. Well, anyway, it all wasn't true. The people didn't die of coronavirus. Those 3,500, in a study by the country's National Health Authority, said that 99% of all the people that supposed to have died from corona had serious health problems. And that's what they likely died of. They already had serious health problems, and they'd had at least 3 health problems, separate health problems in the recent times, actually. And if you like, they were ripe for not getting through a 4th problem. And so half of all the victims had suffered from at least 3 prior illnesses, and about a 4th had at least 1 or 2 previous conditions. They're just lying. They know this. The authorities in Rome, that have said this, the governments of Rome, why didn't they say all this? Why not they said to the people, well, don't worry, it's not as bad, we'll release you from your houses. And I mean, people have seen these wonderful videos of Italians on the balconies singing and playing music to each other to raise the spirits. They didn't need the spirits raising, they just needed people to stop telling them lies, and that's what has been happening. So, I have to ask the question, why are the politicians ignoring the scientists? Why are they not blasting this all over the media? Why are they not? Why is California closing down the whole state? Why is the British government closing down London and possibly the rest of the country? I've not got the fine detail on that because it only came out this evening and I've been quite busy. I don't know why they're doing it. I can guess, but I don't know for sure. But we know, and I told you in the week, because a lot of people wrote to me and they were thankful that there is a cure for coronavirus. It came out of Japan. It was tested in China, and that's why they're emptying the hospitals in China. People are going home. Where do you hear about this on the the US and the European media? Nowhere. What I can guess, and this is my guess, that the medical pharma cartel want to get everybody vaccinated, because when you get people vaccinated, their immune system won't be as strong and they'll become more and more dependent on the pharma medical cartel and their drugs. They really want you to take drugs. Just don't make any mistake whatsoever. They make profit when you're sick. They do not make profit when you're healthy. When you don't take drugs, you're nothing to them at all whatsoever. So they have to get everybody slightly unhealthy. They don't want you to die, really, because you don't take drugs once you die. So they want you to be slightly sick all of the time. And that's what I believe is they're saying we're going to vaccinate you so that everybody will be healthy and the herd will get an immunity. But it doesn't happen like that. Because if it happened like that, it would have already happened with the seasonal flu, and most people that have a vaccination get the flu. There's only very few people don't get it. And would they have got it in the first place? I don't think so. So, this is the last day of the week of these messages. I'll be doing them next week if I get some feedback from everybody to say they would like me to do it. I don't know how many times I can say this, but I can go on to other things anyway. I might, if people want me to go on to other health issues and cover, say, a different health issue every night, then I'm happy to do that. It's my passion. People say, why do you carry on working at 74? It's not work. I just love helping people. So, but what are you going to do in the meantime? Well, whatever the politicians say, I say, don't stay locked up in your house. Whenever you can, whenever the police, whoever is enforcing it, are not looking, then get out of the house, because you need fresh air. You need to build your immune system by getting some sunshine. If that sun is outside, I don't care whether you get on a balcony or stick your head out of the window, but get that sun on your skin, because you get vitamin D3 from the sun. And when you get vitamin D3 around the body, it boosts your immune system really strong. In the meantime, if you can't and you think that you're coming down with flu of any description, just take big doses. I take 10,000 IUs a day just for keeping healthy. You can take 10, 20, 30, 40,000 IUs for a few days just to give your body a quick boost, and then drop down to 10,000, 5,000, whatever you want to do, but no less than 5,000 IUs, because vitamin D is one of the best things for immune system and anti-cancer as well, especially breast cancer. I can only say thank you for all the emails I've had. and text messages. I've not been able to put them all on there, but I'm just going to quote Gillian, who said, "Thank you, Robert, for always talking so much sense, and your news should be constantly reported on national TV." I don't think so. She's going to spread the news to her group, who already think like you, and hopefully be able to link this in energetically into the collective conscious by way of group meditation. And thank you, Gillian, and thank you all the other people who have actually sent me nice messages. And I don't mind people, if you like, telling me it's a load of rubbish, Robert, because I know I'm right. anybody that is looking at this with a clear eye knows that something's going wrong, and it's not coronavirus that's going wrong. As I say, Japan and China, they're clearing the hospitals now, and it's not that, for more people to supposedly die in Italy, that exposes a lie. Thank you very much, everybody. And if I get enough feedback, I'll be back on next week. Take care. Have a good weekend.